Thanks for stopping in at Down the Road Show podcast, brought to you by Murdock Worldwide Entertainment on the Down the Road Show YouTube channel. And a special shout out and thank you to all the subscribers on Chronicles of Comic Con YouTube channel. We just passed 25,000 subscribers. Awesome. You're also listening to this wherever audio podcasts are available. Thank you to our sponsors, Everyday Natural Product. If it wasn't for their CBD products, I wouldn't be here doing this podcast right now, which I'm excited to do because I'm doing an anniversary with the original podcast crew. We're bringing in J.C., Mario, Kyle, and Victor.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Hey, how's it going?
Glad to be back.
Why can't I unmute Victor? This is what I was warning you guys about. Okay, now we're all in. So let's catch up. It's been a while, so it's practically, it's 9 years since we kind of stopped it, 10 years since we formed the idea of even starting a podcast. JC, you first. What have you been up to?
Well, about a couple of years ago, I moved here to Las Vegas, so I'm coming to you guys from Henderson area, actually. Everything's going well out here. Gotten more into voice acting and things like that. Had an animated movie come out last year, doing voice acting and things like that out in this direction. Hopefully that's going to pick back up in a couple of weeks because they're talking about coming back to life. Doing things like that, just going back and forth to California when I can and missing you guys.
Feelings mutual. Nice. I miss all of you guys. Mario, sound off. What you been up to, brother?
This is like a glorified high school reunion. I love it, man.
Right.
Well, since I last saw you guys, to make a long story very short, I became a voiceover talent, and day and night I'll be here in the studio at home working, and it's extra nice to see each and every one of you guys, especially because I see you guys maintained your shapes, and that's a plus.
Yeah.
There's just more of us to love now. That's all.
Yeah,
Over the past couple months.
Hey, yeah. I'm one to talk, so I know.
I'm a trapezoid, and I've maintained that.
I was told there'd be no math, Victor.
There will be no pop
I'm leaving.
On this
I'm leaving now.
Podcast.
Like, I didn't come here to be schooled.
Quarantine's been treating us well.
Wow. All right.
Yes.
Oh shoot.
And
It's
some
like,
of our
I gotta do the wow thing every time I say that.
we
We gotta drink.
I forgot my drink.
Yeah, me too.
I did not forget my drink. One damn beer gives me the worst headache and hangovers these days because of my health. But let's not get on that.
Okay.
Victor, what have you been up to?
Oh, let's see. I live out in the San Diego area, in Encinitas nowadays. Remember Kelly? She and I split up. Still good friends. She's up in Sacramento, so the original studio is now someone else's. But yeah, I'm playing guitar. I've played in a few bands since, and now I'm writing my own music, and just, that's my thing. They call me semi-retired.
Send me some of your music so I can hear it, please. So for those of you watching and listening who don't know, Victor was my last guitarist in my last formation of my last band. And speaking of which, Kyle, what have you been up to, considering you have been the only bass player I've ever played with in California? Mr. Rabbit, super vegan himself.
Still vegan. That's still going strong. Not much. Moved out to Colorado. Working in a pharmacy now, so that's fun nowadays. It's very strange times to work in a pharmacy.
Right.
Still with Ash. Still got Gizmo. Everything's pretty much the same except just in a different state now.
Hey to Ash for us.
Huh?
Say hey to Ashley for us.
Oh yeah, I will for sure. She's downstairs playing video games.
Of course she
That
is.
is nothing new.
Of course she is.
Yep.
She's a badass.
Probably playing the same game that we left her like 9 years ago too.
Maybe she just hooked up the old PlayStation 3.
Wow.
Nice.
Because there was some
We're
game,
going retro
some
because
game
of
on
all
it she
this
needed to
going on.
play. So
Is
she
she
might
kind
be.
of is she a purist? She's an old school. She likes to bust out the old games.
Oh yeah, yeah. We have everything from Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, every single form of a Nintendo console, including all the Game Boys and everything. Yeah, you got them all. That's all we do.
Do you have Dreamcast by any chance?
No,
I have
no
not
Dreamcast.
met anybody with a Dreamcast yet.
I had one when it first came out, but I don't even know if you can still find them.
I have to tell you guys something. I woke up the other day from a dream. I don't know why. It's been forever. I didn't see the Sonic movie, but I woke up with the Sonic Hedgehog game, the Genesis music in my head, and it was like the level. You'll know what I'm talking about, Kyle. The level where he's underwater, and for some reason, it was the music. It was the score from that specific level that I woke up with in my head, and it made me happy the entire day. I don't even know why, but I want it. I need to track it. I need to loop it. I need to put it on in my phone or in my car. It was just a good day because I woke up with Sonic underwater music in my brain.
That's what good music does, whether it's in a movie, TV, or video game.
It was the most random, off-the-wall thing ever. I thought it was really cool. Maybe I should go see the movie. Maybe it was a sign. I don't know. But I thought it was really cool. Since we're talking about old platforms of video games.
Well, I'm glad pinball games are kind of making a comeback. So, before COVID.
Right. You need to come out here to Vegas and come to the Pinball Hall of Fame building because, well, when it opens back up, hopefully pretty soon. I don't know which phase it's going to be in, but it's like a couple miles from me. It's ginormous. They've got anything you can remember playing and beyond that. They've got games from like the 50s and 60s in there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's
nice.
pretty cool.
You know what's funny? Speaking of pinballs, it was my son's birthday not too long ago, few weeks ago, and I said, you know what? They're 80s arcade lovers. I'm gonna try to buy a pinball machine, right? And I've always wanted the KISS pinball machine until I saw the prices. I saw the prices. They wanted like $17,000. Another one wanted $25,000. I'm like, well, I can always show them videos on YouTube what it was like.
Yeah, I don't like KISS that much. No.
No, I'm gonna wait for that.
No, it's okay.
Nah, but I tell you, Mario, if you come out here with the kids, I can show you those machines. And yeah, like I said, they've got at least 3 different ones at this building that I remember. And they're talking about making a larger or relocating to an even larger location with more stuff. So that was the talk before all the world fell apart. So we'll see if that actually comes down. But yeah, come on down here and play some pinball with me, man. It's pretty awesome.
It'd be great.
And it's open really late. It's open until like 1 in the morning. It's like if you got nothing else to do and you don't want to gamble or drink yourself stupid, just go play some pinball down the street. Right off of Chopacabana.
Pretty much everything you just named about Vegas, I can't do right now. The second my doctors can get me so I can stand longer than a half an hour, I'm there.
You can play pinball. They've got chairs. I have to use them now because my back and legs aren't what they used to be either. So they have chairs that you can literally sit at the pinball machines and video games and play.
I get that. I'll be lucky to make it through this before I go lay down. So
okay.
yeah.
But I'm feeling good. Do you mind if I get drunk and bet on pinball?
No, come on.
Okay, all right.
It's the best part of the game.
You got the right chair
that
for
would
it.
make my day. I think we should actually do an off-site remote, podcast from the Pinball Hall of Fame. Promote them, and that's a new shirt. That'll be a new shirt that you just need to get. We'll all wear
Fair
enough. And then maybe we can get a discount on your $17,000 machine for your kid there, Mario.
Yeah, I don't think so. The only thing I'm looking at right now is a good chair like Victor has right now. Because with that kind of chair, you won't be tilting any pinball machine.
I'm kind of jealous. I'm just saying. The backyard, the chair. He's living large.
He looks super comfortable for sure.
Yeah.
Keeping it classy in San Diego. I love that.
Well, this is in LA, and this is my daddy's chair, so he's living good.
I thought you were okay, well, you're keeping it classy wherever you are, my friend.
Thank you, sir.
About to make me go grab my recliner from the front room.
Right? I need to get me recliners so that, next time we do this, we're all going to need recliners and just, and drinks.
Yep.
You're going to have to rename this podcast then.
I'm ready. Guys that drink. Do you guys watch the Impractical Jokers show?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Have you seen the recent episodes where they're having dinner? They're separate like us, but the 4 guys are having dinner together?
I haven't.
No, I haven't seen it.
Okay. I watched I think it's like a new season. I think they're trying it out. but it's like, you know, they're eating together, and there's only been like 3 episodes. I've only watched 1, but they all decided they were going to eat spaghetti, and they're all in their homes or wherever they were. So maybe next time we got to do this, we got to eat too. So recliner chairs. What else we got? Recliner chairs.
Well, speaking of Impractical Jokers, you know what? They got Impractical Jokers has an after show hosted by Joey Fatone. That's actually a lot of fun. You should check out though if you're
okay. All right. So,
Speaking of that, Casey, I told you this before the show. I got to get me a background like yours. It's beautiful, man.
I've been
just go over his house and use his.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, well, he's a little bit far from me from Orange County, so.
Only this one right here. That's by Ali Garza for Ancient Dreams, I believe, series, or maybe not. I don't know, but her book just came out by J.P. Roth. Other than that, the rest of that art from here down and over is all the same artists that I collected from him from different cons and cons have been holding on to.
I can't really
like
see the one behind you.
7 years.
I can't see the one that you were talking about with the girls here. Let me get.
Which one?
The one. Nope, still can't see it. That was just fun to get in your guys' faces. That's all.
Yeah.
I just wanted to do that.
You look like when you look at a Christmas ornament.
Right here, this is my favorite piece right here. This was actually done on about 4 or 5 podcasts ago, live on the show for me by Anthony Lee Wynn, who drew Wolverine. And when I asked him to be on the show, he's like, what do you want me to draw? I'm like, well, draw Stripperella. He's like, you know, I've done more than just Stripperella for Stan Lee. And I'm like, oh, I forget that. What else? He's like, Wolverine. I'm like, fine. Give me Stripperella giving Wolverine a lap dance.
Oh, that's outstanding. Well, you need to post that. Is that online that we can see?
It's on both the YouTube channels. Yep.
Okay.
It's already up.
That, yeah. Well, hey to Anthony if he watches this. You know, haven't seen you guys in a while either.
Yeah, so, you guys are episode. You guys should be episode 25, I think.
Okay. Wow. We're gonna hold you to that. So we want to hold down, you know, number 25 for us. We went on the shirt too. It was like number 25. So you know, whenever you call us together, like the Super Friends, 25 is the number, and I want a bat signal with the 25. You know,
collectively, that's our mutual age.
20. I like that. I just celebrated my birthday, and that was the 27th anniversary of my 27th birthday, because that was a good year for me, and I just let everybody else do the math. I was talking to Mario, what was it?
A couple weeks ago, yeah.
And he told me how beautiful I was and how young I was.
Oh yeah.
Love you, Mario.
Yeah.
Love you. And it's like, well, you know, I'm holding my age, so now I'm just gonna let everybody else out there guess how old I was the other day and let them do the math, because I don't do math, Victor. I just don't do it.
You know what's scary? I started thinking just in a few more years, I'm going to be 25 on each leg. And I'm going like, holy moly, time has flown by. 25 on each leg.
No.
A long time, my friend.
You start to feel that in the knees and ankles when you get up, let me tell you.
Yeah.
I felt them 10 years ago.
There's a lot of hiking out here and a lot of places, you know, going down by the lake and everything that I go to, and half the trails I can't do right now, and I miss that. So I'm living vicariously through all these people about Bryce Canyon, Red Rocks, Valley of Fire. There's a lot of places out by St. George, Casey, you're probably familiar with, in Utah.
Some great hiking down there, but hey, look, I understand that. I can't hike at all right now, but worse than that, like my ankles pop so loud, I can't sneak up on anyone. My ninja skills are useless.
Popcorn feet.
You know, it's funny. I went on about 10 days prior to COVID's quarantining, right? I go on Match.com and sign up for 6 months.
Oh, dear God.
Oh, wow.
Right? I signed up for 6 months because, like, you know, it's like half the price that if you do it month to month. I figure I'll be on it for a couple months. And then, of course, you know, I met one girl, had dinner, and then it's like, oh, can't see anybody. But I've been looking at those profiles, right?
How many fake ones you come across?
Well, I don't know, because
you haven't been outside yet.
You know, right. I mean, I
Can't
could be
compare 'em
talking
yet.
to some. I could be talking to some 300-pound Russian dude, right?
Oh,
But-
Russian dude.
Well, whatever.
I got like 8 accounts on Match, and none of them are me.
No.
You can have a connection with that. You don't know.
Oh, I know. That's
I won't
right. And
judge
I got to be
Much.
open-minded.
Right?
But
For
the
all
reason,
you know, you could be talking to one of us.
yeah, that's true.
Casey and his 7, 8 different profiles.
But you know what I
I've been
discovered? is-
catfishing all of you guys for 8 years, and you have no idea.
Oh my goodness. You do now.
Well, what I discovered is in San Diego, every single woman, every single one wants to go hiking. You know, I mean, that's what they do out there. In San Diego, you live outside. It's pretty much, oh, I got a bedroom outside, and you know, it's all outdoor living, right?
Right.
And so I'm like, you know, I didn't put down hiking in my profile. I better, you know, do that. And then I thought, oh, I'm going to go hike. And I did. And this girl ran like circles around me.
Yeah.
I'm
not a
just like,
sprint.
it was not good. Not good. I've got, first of all, I took my dog Tyson. Remember Tyson? He was
I love
my
Tyson.
white,
You still
the
got
white
Tyson?
pit bull. I
love
still
him.
do. He's
Tell him I
16
miss
for-
him.
He's 16 years old and he can't hear a word.
Oh my gosh. But he can hike.
He can hike for about half a mile. And and so this girl brings her dog and decides, oh, I'm going to do a short one. Like, we're just going to go about 6 miles. I'm like, okay. So I had to
Short
leave
one.
Tyson. Yeah.
Oh my
I
goodness.
had-
That's payback for every man that was just like, oh, I promise you, I'm huge.
That's her way of testing your virility, like out the gate. It's like if you
Yeah,
can only
well-
hang with her for 6 miles on a hike, she's only wondering what you could do at home. Just saying.
Yeah. Well, after
That's
this,
what I'm gonna go with.
nothing.
I need a nap. Yeah, tell her I need a nap first. You know,
I know why you're in the chair.
feed me some carbs, and we'll talk about it like a week later.
Yeah, that was my next question. Are you at the 2 to 3 days recovery stage of your life, or I need a week recovery?
I actually 2 or 3 days is good. It's good. I can. You know what? I
All that guitar.
it's all that. Yeah, it's picking up. I've been using heavier guitars. I'm playing Les Pauls. It's, you know, they're extra weight.
Oh, for the heavyweight.
There you go.
Playing that harder gauge
You
strings
guys are gonna
there.
have to jam. You guys are gonna have to actually get together and jam some on.
Zoom Jam.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
see
yeah.
those things
Yeah.
on
Kinda
Facebook.
cool.
You know, I'm kind of astounded when I see those things. Like I watched Los
Metronome.
Lobos do.
They're not doing.
Uh,
There's a metronome. I guarantee you, they're not doing that without a metronome.
It's got to be either that or here's a part and I'm sending it on to somebody and they can do it. But it's like crazy.
live.
They're crazy good though.
Yeah, no, it's not live. Can't be live.
Mm-mm.
Ah, well, it's Memorex.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
Oh my God, that's so old school.
Well, we're talking pinball.
we just lost all the young listeners. That's okay. There's only like 2 of them.
A lot of people are like, what the heck's Memorex?
Those two, are, they're faithful. They need shirts. They need shirts too.
Yeah. Well, according
we can put them into
according
the 25 club.
according to the audio podcast statistics, I have. I
What was that
literally-
word? How'd you say that?
Yeah.
Shut up. My brain doesn't work right all the time. But I literally have 1 female subscriber, and I know who she is because she was my first guest.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, she's got to have
Cool.
friends. You know.
I know. None of them
Hang
are
on.
listening. What's up with that? Actually, but more people are watching. People are watching this on YouTube more than they're actually listening to the audio podcast. We'll see if the country ever opens back up, if that changes. That's what I was hoping is once everyone started going back to work, they'd start listening to the audio podcasts. But, now who knows who really wants to go back to work right now. So
Well, when this is put on the audio, what format do you use? Which website do you use, or anything
I
for
use-
archiving and things?
yeah, I use Anchor FM. I just recently found them. I don't know how long they've been out, but like they put it out there on all the spots for you as needed.
Oh, look at the dog.
But sweet boy.
Right. Come on.
Oh my goodness.
And he's got a dog too.
Well, we mentioned Tyson. He had to say hi.
It's too. You know what? Mister, it's too hot here anyway. I'm kind of tired of it, and I think I'm coming down to San Diego or LA or wherever the hell
just to pet his dog. I know
just
you.
to be with the dog. You know, I can.
One for each one of you.
I'm easy. You know, just feed me pasta.
But here's when I first joined Anchor compared to what they recently did, and here's why I like Anchor, J.C. To answer your question, because you can now take your MP4 files, your video files, and they'll rip the audio for you and put it up.
Oh,
Nice.
Which is super convenient because I was having issues with the audio for the second podcast. For some reason, it kept slowing everything down, no matter what I was using on my computer to export it, and we just sounded drunk. And Elena Huffman, who's on this season of the 100, and you remember her from Wizard World, like we've been friends ever since. That was that podcast interview with her, and I'm just like, okay, she sounds like a man. Like I can't put this out. So Anchor recently did that, and it's just like once they did that, I started just uploading all of them. So now everything's up and current.
Do they clean them up for you too, or do they just basically take what you got?
You can record. You can record with them. You can edit and clean up. It's very full service. I'm extremely. Plus, they'll help you find advertising, and you can record an audio advertising for them where they give you a little script and everything. Like super easy to use, super convenient. I highly recommend anyone out there starting a new podcast or maybe looking to switch their podcast provider, check out Anchor FM.
What do you use, Mario? I'm looking over you. This is like the Brady Bunch, so I'm looking over towards you now. And
Okay. So that's what it was.
Up and down. And
I thought you were looking at the clock. I use Anchor, but because I'm about to introduce music, and believe it or not, the streaming license people that used to charge you $25 for a streaming license went out of business. So now I have to go through Live 365, but I'm on the fence deciding. You know, technically,
Spreaker.com, huh?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, you want to be licensed, right? So you don't get sued. However, there's so much going on because of podcasting, and technically, right, you're not supposed to use any kind of copywritten music on a podcast.
He's using air quotes for everyone listening on the audio podcast.
Oh, that's right, air quotes. I should have done the Dr. Evil, but I discovered listening to a bunch of different podcasts on iTunes that there's a lot of people that are using copywritten material on a podcast. So, and I doubt all these people are joining ASCAP and all this. So I don't know. I just want to be really careful because I want everything to be done the right way. I don't want to be sued. Trust me, 2020 is not going completely straight right now, and that's the last thing we need.
Right, exactly.
Well, and and you have to worry about things like that. I don't. I have 2 listeners, so.
Well, you got two more than me. Oh, sorry. Well, you got one more.
I also look. Let's be blunt and completely honest here for everyone who's watching and listening, because I've had to fight. I don't use copywritten material. I've learned my lesson thanks to YouTube, who has muted several things from 8 years ago before copyright laws have changed so much. And now I got to find all that, re-edit it, and upload it again, which is a huge pain in the butt. But on top of that, like I've had other people try to claim copyrights on my own footage and my own personal music.
Nice.
That I've had to fight with YouTube over, and have won all of those. That's mine, obviously. But like it's been an issue, and for people like, I'm going there. Here we go. Systemic racial fucking justice and everything, and how society works. Look, it's just as bad in advertising, in radio, and all those formats, because I have 3 different podcasts with Black friends on YouTube, and YouTube wouldn't allow those to be advertised because they weren't considered good content for advertising, just because the picture on the thumbnail was my Black guest. Once I changed it to my white pasty face, advertising was approved.
Jeez.
Doesn't make sense at all. I mean,
that was literally just a couple months ago. I was bitching about it all over Facebook. I don't know. You guys probably missed it, but yeah, I did screenshots of before and after and everything.
No, I'm thinking about just skipping the whole copyright thing and just using rock and roll from the good old 17 and 1800s.
Nice.
Whoa,
With
that
harpsichords
sounds
and,
perfect.
you know,
Yeah.
things like
Yeah.
that, you know.
Maybe some Johann Sebastian Bach. You know,
Mozart on
hey, if
crack.
Malmsteen can play it, hey, it's all good.
I'd listen to it. You got my vote.
Heck yeah. Throw some
I'll even
Mozart
wear a
in there for
powdered
good
wig
measure.
while I'm
Yeah.
listening to it. If Chang, you know, going to sidestep it, if Chang wears the powdered wig, so will I. Just tell him that. let him know that's a party waiting to happen. Just tell you.
Yeah, but man, I can't believe I'm here with you guys. It's just awesome. It's surreal, man. It's like I literally went into that DeLorean and just hit the replay button, man. It's great.
Yeah, now you sound like you need some money. What do you want?
Well, I don't want to say it, guys.
I want a
but,
DeLorean.
Now you're just buttering
now that
us
I
up.
got you all guys.
Now
that
you're
I
just
have you
kissing
all
our
here.
feet. You know, now that
I
you got
really
us
do
all
want that
here.
Kiss pinball machine.
Once that Pomsky
Yeah.
scheme kicks in, I see.
Hey, have I told you all about doTERRA oils?
Tell us, Casey. Tell us.
Nice save.
Just kidding. But segue into our sponsors at empstore.com. Check them out. They're giving away 20% discount with Down the Road as your promo code. So go check them out. Some of you may have seen me taking drops while everyone was talking. Just
Oh,
to kinda
shoot.
help
I had to
settle the
point
neck.
that way when you were
So-
doing it. Dang it. I messed it up. Sorry. I was going to point at your product, but I was like,
It's
I got my
way
fingers. I'm
down
pointing
there.
at Mario's face.
It's actually
I
left
gotta
and
point
right
that
from
way.
you. It'll be left and right from you, JC. And actually, you'll see the website go across your face. So it'll be a beautiful thing once it's all edited.
Right here?
Yeah,
Where?
that one.
Okay.
Right there.
This
Right
face. That's the one you want to put on the shirt.
That's the one.
It is so pretty.
Speaking of which, have any of you guys watched the sequel of Bloodsucker Joan yet?
No.
No. Have you watched the
I
first
did
one?
not. I'm sorry. I did not know the sequel
No.
was out.
Okay, the sequel is on Amazon Prime for free right now, so go check it out. But they have a security guard, like bodyguard kind of guy, completely made out of cardboard box, and on his chest is like just a bunch of pins. But in the line of 3 of those pins is the original Down the Road Show pin with JC and I as the logo.
Black
Hey,
and
I
white
got one of those.
Retro, the almost 80s looking one that I love.
Yeah,
It's hanging in my car. I got
that-
it hanging
that-
from my rear view right now.
that black and white one that Wes Huffer made for us.
I love that.
Yeah,
Outstanding. Well, thanks for the plug, man. That's awesome.
right.
Watch that. Are you in it again, or did your character die in the first one? I don't know how that worked.
Yeah, my Asian, I'm doing air quotes, my
Why
Asian
John Kim
character,
or whatever you were named.
yeah, he died in the first one. So, and because I'm not a SAG actor, because they did so unexpectedly well in the first one, they had to use all SAG actors in the sequel. Actually,
Got it. Well, hell.
Success has its prices.
But you added it to your IMDb page, right? I would.
I think they tagged me on there. I think it is on my IMDb page.
Speaking of, I have to get mine back because I noticed one of you added Chronicles of Comic Con.
Well, speaking of which, JC and Mario, you guys have been doing voiceover work. Promote something we can find you guys in. JC.
Well, the animated film that I came out with last year it dropped on the 13th of December, and it was a total charity project. None of us got paid. It was an independent animated project, but I would say easily about 80% of the cast and the animators and whatnot, the music was all original, but we were all Disney peers related to each other.
Is it done and out?
Margaret Carey did the narration for it. It's
Nice.
about, we clocked it in an even 22 minutes so that if it could be played on cable, it would play out to the 30 minutes. So we got that.
Plus, it's short enough for short films.
Yes, and the first one is there's a children's hospital. It's very similar to like Chalk in Orange County, but it's the Great Ormond's Children's Hospital in London. And J.M. Barrie is the person that wrote the original Peter Pan play, and all of them. When the success of the play took off, he secretly, anonymously donated all of his proceeds, all of his funds to this children's hospital until his death. And then afterwards, he secretly willed the rights to Peter Pan and everything else to this hospital forever. So we had to go.
Cool.
Yeah, the project is Peter Pan's Magical World of Neverland.
Peter Pan's Magical World of Neverland. Did I say that right?
Peter Pan's Magical World of Neverland.
Okay, and just to interject here, why that tie-in is so cool for everyone that's really young watching and listening to this, Margaret Carey, who you're talking about, who's a personal close friend of you, who is pretty much living Pixie, she was the original life model that they drew the original Tinkerbell for the original Peter Pan cartoon after. Continue, J.C.
For the Disney 1953 film. Yeah, and that's true.
She was hot, dude.
She did a lot of things. She was a Little Rascal. She was on Andy Griffith's show. She did a lot of things. But now she lives in Sarasota, Florida. So I have to go out there. She got married.
I saw that. Congratulations, Margaret.
She just celebrated her 91st birthday, and she married a man who is, 94 years young, and on Valentine's Day.
Dude, love is love. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
He bought her a house, and they moved to Florida. But before they did all that, we finished up this film. All of the proceeds that are from this film, because it's online, James Presley, who, Casey, you know, he was the one who produced it, wrote the original score for it and everything, pulled us all together.
That makes sense because he has a lot of license rights with different music properties from Disney. So that makes sense that he would put that together.
He lives out here in Las Vegas, by me, and
a great human. I love him.
And he does a lot of this great stuff here. He's writing scores and everything from home while this COVID thing's been going on nonstop. So he's busy. But anyway, all this project came down, and all the funds went directly to this Great Ormond's Children's Hospital in London. So it was an act of love. None of us got paid, but we got the rights to put it on our IMDb pages and get credit for it, acting credit and everything else, music credit. But hopefully, if it gets enough popularity, we'll know within the next 6 months, by Christmas again, we'll do a chapter 2, chapter 3 of the story. And basically what it is, it's telling the origin of Peter Pan. And that's not something that Disney or anybody else has done. It's like how Peter Pan came to be with his friends. So I did the voice for Mr. Smee. So that was fun.
Nice.
I got to be a pirate. And it came out actually.
A lifelong dream.
Laid down the tracks in one day in 2 takes. And it came out to be a hybrid of Cartman from South Park and that old dog that was in those cartoons that just laughed really weird.
Yeah, Schmedley.
Yeah. By the time I heard myself, that's what it sounded like, a hybrid or a combination of both of those.
Yeah.
It was like Cartman with.
I hear it. So. I feel it. I can actually feel that through the camera. Yeah, it was fun, but it's led to other projects. I do have a voice actor studio here on the other side of town near Summerlin, on the flip side, North Las Vegas area, that I'm attached to. So they're giving me some good work, and hopefully it's going to lead to some things. I'd love to do anime. I've talked to Mario about this. I would love to do, the English dubbing for anime. And I would too. Not only that, I want to be the talent hire who hires the voiceover for a lot of that stuff, because to be honest, there's a lot of stuff out there I want to watch or I've tried to watch, but I can't get over the English voiceover dubbing because sometimes it just feels like they don't care enough and they're not putting enough into it. They're just going through the motions.
Well, the pacing is different for them, and you can tell it's like, rubbing nails on a chalkboard to me when I watch certain anime.
Yeah.
It's the pacing, and I understand that. And Mario, you get that. But at the same time, there's got to be a way to make it a little bit or a lot of it more natural sounding and raw, and I think that's what I would love to go. So let's all just get on a plane and go to Japan when the world opens up. And let's just do that for about a year and come back and hoard our money.
Let me know how that works.
Be stupid rich. Yeah, we'll just do that. Come on, Mario. You can say hi to the kids.
Right here.
You can say hi to Melly and the kids. On Zoom. Now we all know how to use Zoom better. So.
I'll take a trip to Japan anytime, my friends.
10 months. I want to be Wolverine. I want to do that. That'd be fun.
What can you promote, Mario?
You know what? I do a lot of bilingual, both Spanish and English, commercials, narrations. I did a narration for Shea Serrano called Movies and Things. I'm the official voice of Monster Jam, unfortunately, right now. Yeah, so if you've ever heard the Monster Jam, I'm that guy.
That's awesome.
Sunday.
I didn't know that was you now.
Well, so I do that in Spanish. So I'm the official voice of Monster Jam in Spanish. I do Marvel Universe Live as well.
Do it for us in Spanish.
Oh, I can.
Gotta get the script up.
No, you do it live. Don't you pull up any audio. You do it live.
I was going to put up a script because, let's see, they do stuff like Monster Jam, de ahora en Staples Center, el 12 de abril, Monster Jam en vivo, stuff like that.
Wait.
Yeah.
Do one for Down the Road Show. Do one for Down the Road Show.
Okay. With that type of
with that kind of vibe and in Spanish
vibe, right?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Here we go. Down the Road Show presenta los 5 mayores problemas ahora en Internet. Down the Road Show este viernes en vivo.
Nice.
Oh my God. Okay, wait a minute. Also, voiceover credits for Mario. So for anyone watching Chronicles of Comic Con channel right now, you did also the end of my Darth Vader beer parody commercials. You did the voiceover announcement for that, for the warning that the beer is not responsible for lightsaber fights and intergalactic battles and things like that.
Yeah.
Super funny. And once again, to show how racist YouTube is, the ones you did in Spanish also don't get full advertising.
Nice. Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
So if you're black or Spanish, apparently there's no advertising dollars out there for
Hey,
you.
well, maybe they'll shut this one up too because I just did something live, with
probably.
the word, with the air quote word Monster Jam in there.
They probably will, yeah, just because you spoke in Spanish. And as long as I don't put your face too much on the big screen and we show all of our whiteness collectively, we'll be okay.
Yeah, funny story. Here's a funny story. When I went in full time doing voiceovers, my first big client was Ringling Brothers. Okay, I became their official voice for Ringling Brothers. A year later, you know what? You've been great. We want to go ahead. I said, am I going to get to resign a contract? And they're like, yeah, Ringling Brothers is out of business. I'm like, wow, I did great. Thanks.
Nice.
But it ain't you.
No, it's not me.
It's not you.
It's not you.
You were great.
No, and I do Monster Jam, and now what happens? COVID-19, but it's not me.
Yeah,
It's
well,
not you.
And
It's other monster.
I don't blame you for the original Down the Road Show podcast ending either.
No.
No, but and that was always my favorite part, is like you just interjecting with different voices and going off and just like, yeah, you've always been great with the different voices.
I want you to bring back the clown, the clown that you did our first
the Cuban clown.
yeah.
The Cuban clown.
The Cuban clown.
I forgot about the Cuban clown.
Yeah, I remember one thing of the Cuban clown when he said,
I remember him getting really mad at me and Casey.
I know. I said,
he got really mad.
I make balloon animals, I do little guns and stuff for the friends and the little kids,
Gongs. Yeah, it was
it's for
the
fun.
gong. It was the gong.
More fun.
But yeah, so I've been keeping busy doing that. So it's a lot of fun.
But, well, if your characters on your own show aren't threatening the hosts of the show, you're not doing a right podcast anyway.
I think it was pretty good for our first episode. I think, getting threatened our first time out was pretty awesome.
And then I made sure I had liquor after every podcast after that, because y'all are funnier when you're drunk.
Damn right.
A lot funnier when I was rolling around on the floor. Remember that?
Maker's Mark, right? It was
that Maker's Mark. Woo.
The breakfast of the liquid breakfast of champions. That was.
Even Kelly joined in a few times.
Now I'm thirsty.
She nice toast. Hey, what was the name of that MMF? Action Jackson or Rampage? Rampage, Jack.
Oh, yeah.
Rampage?
Didn't he
Yeah.
slap
Yeah.
you, Casey?
That's what I was just
Casey.
thinking of.
He
It
slapped
was
me
like
small.
some-
He slapped Casey hard.
He got me good. It was the right amount of gentle for the amount of force he could have done. Let's just say with everything going on with my neck, I couldn't handle that right now.
Right.
cool
But
cat.
it's still my favorite promo we ever put together.
Yeah. Because you did it like right. You did it like 2 or 3 times in a row. I remember that.
I think
Is
so.
that still online somewhere?
It should be on Down the Road Show's channel, like in the original. You got to go back like 10 pages and 8 years, but I believe Kyle edited that together.
Very cool. Well, thank you,
Did
Kyle,
I?
for making him look.
Yeah.
Sure.
I wasn't editing back then. I wasn't editing back then.
Multiple slaps.
Every time I eat quinoa, I think of that because he talked about, yeah, I've been taking care of myself with some of that quinoa. And I remember thinking, I have no idea what that is.
Quinoa.
I got to look that up. What's quinoa?
I found it, and now I eat it. It's
I
like,
eat it
oh,
all the
this-
time now.
All
Yeah.
the time. Miracle qualities about it.
You know,
Yeah.
the things I put in my body now, I used to make fun of Rabbit for eating on a regular basis. So.
Yep.
And there it is. You were ahead of your time, sir.
Yes.
Hey guys, I hate to say this, but I gotta go. Peace out to you. Much love.
Whatever.
I miss you guys. We'll talk
Tired,
soon.
man.
hopefully.
We wore you out. I get it. Whatever.
Maybe. Do you know how hot it is in this room?
It's
Oh
because
my
we made you
gosh.
do the Cuban clown, isn't it?
It was 110 here today. I don't want to hear about how hot your room
Do you know?
is.
Do you know how hot it is here and 3 miles away from the beach? It is hot.
Shut up.
It is hot. Okay.
I'm coming down there as soon as I can, and I just go,
There's a
we'll get together
rainstorm
and do dinner.
outside and our air conditioning's broke. Like, it's so muggy in here. Shut up.
Shut up.
Victor knows. Victor knows when you're in San Diego. Look at how hot it gets.
Victor, wait, over there. Dang it. I can't get my fingers right. Down there.
Technically,
Yeah,
he's
he's
up
living
from
large.
you.
He's good.
He's technically up from you.
Well, I love you guys. You guys take care of yourselves.
I'll
Later,
talk to
man.
Love
you.
you.
Seeing ya.
Mario.
I'm gonna go crash his house.
So-
And then there were 4.
then there's 4 of us. Look, we're bigger.
Yeah.
I've been trying to eat less. I've been trying. You ain't got to
What
point
else
that
have you-
out.
What, Kyle? Are you doing music? What are you doing out there? Are you slapping that bass?
No, I haven't. Since we moved out here, I haven't picked up my bass or my
No
camera.
band? Not joined a band? Nothing?
No, nothing. Just
Oh, nice.
busy working right now. I'm working 13-hour days. So yeah, no, don't really have any time for that. And then when we first got here, we were focused on buying a house. So all of my free time, we were just checking out houses and stuff. So no, but I still have all my instruments. I haven't sold them yet. So
Don't be selling that.
yeah, I'm not going to.
You're gonna
I'm
use
gonna
this.
hang on
Trust
to
me,
them.
I took a 10-year hiatus, and
Oh.
now I play more than ever. So don't sell the stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know where they all are. They're just in the crawl space and kind of in
I
the back in the
kept 2
corner.
guitars.
Got 2.
I
Are
kept
you
2.
writing any music, Casey, on the side, just for yourself?
No. I can't even, by the time I tune my guitar, I'm in so much pain I can't even play it to write. So
I'm sorry, brother. I feel
Yeah.
you.
it's,
Feel you on that.
and then on top of that, the doctors can't figure out what's going on with my vocal cords in my neck. So I literally can't even sing up to a chorus in one of my own songs, let alone anything with radio. So it's kind of pointless and just pisses me off and activates my mental health in all the wrong ways. Because basically I haven't been able to sing an entire song for about 2.5 to 3 years now. And so it's almost, you guys know me, it's like I lost both arms. It's like not even one limb. It's like losing multiple limbs. So
Seriously, because I understand. I feel for you on that. So there's
otherwise
no-
I would. I have started a few new songs in my phone.
That's a start.
Just
As
can't
long as
do
you got them
anything
saved,
with
you can go
them.
back to them. You can go back to them.
Yeah, so I'm holding on to them or maybe I'm hoping since I constantly get the invites to be on The Voice and audition for them, and I missed my one audition because I was at New York Comic Con, literally being paid as a videographer, and I haven't been to one since. But now that NBC has that new show where they're looking for songwriters, I've been thinking about submitting with them, because then they can have someone else sing the damn song for me, and I can just be there.
That's true. Well, how
What
about
show
you,
is that?
Victor? Like, yeah, it's the songs.
Songland.
Something. Yeah.
It's called Songland. Check it out. It's
All right.
season 2 is going right now. It's amazing. Like they bring on 4 songwriters from like different backgrounds, ethnicities. Like sometimes they're pitching to, you know, they do mostly pop music, but they're pitching to country artists. You never know who's going to be on there. And so they start out with 4, then they cut 1 and pick 3 to go into the studio and actually rework their songs and make them better and tailored more for the person they're pitching, with award-winning producers on the show, 3 different, and they're all amazing. And it's just super fun, super awesome. And you never know what songs are going to be picked. And I'm not going to lie, like a few of these artists have picked more than one song, and Black Eyed Peas were my favorite. They were like, hey, look, even though we're cutting you and not working on your song, we're going to bring you into our studio and we're recording your song. We're recording all 4 songs. Like, wow. That kind of, it's just
cool.
Yeah, you're literally watching dreams being made in such a unique way that I've never seen on television. But not just that, like, especially for us musicians who have been in a studio, like seeing the production part of the songwriting part of all that behind the scenes, it's super educational for the public.
You know, that's all I've been doing for the last 4 years, has been writing songs, and you know, I put them on my iPad, I put them on my iPhone. You ever heard of Dolby On?
Yeah.
That's a great app, by the way. I mean, it sounds really good. It's free, so I just started using that as a songwriting tool, and I think I'm up to like 200. I got like 200 tunes. And so when I see, I got a lot of tunes. Man.
You should submit one to Songland, or actually, I think you submit 3 and they pick one.
Yeah,
well, see, that's what I was thinking. Is like, oh, cool, because and they're all mixed up. They're like rock and very few blues. Most of them is rock or alternative rock, and then stuff for like soundtracks. You know, so sweet. That's what I'm trying to do right now.
Very.
And there you are. Tyson is my biggest fan.
Because he can't hear you. I got that joke.
Yeah. He's a deaf one.
Well, speaking of that, I was remembering, I was watching the show. I don't know if you guys want to check it out. It just started. It's on Epix, which I believe is like a subscription or a cable channel. But it's called Laurel Canyon. And
I've seen advertisements. That looks good.
I just watched it the other night. And basically, it goes back to, it goes back to like the 50s and the 60s. And they're interviewing people past and passed away, people that are talking about their lives and how the music started in Laurel Canyon, about them living there, about them communing, communing there. We're talking everybody from the mamas and the papas to
Janis Joplin,
Jackson Brown,
like the Monkees,
the Eagles.
You know, they're talking about everybody.
Everybody went through there at one point, yeah.
Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young.
Yeah.
You know, Buffalo Springfield. All of these people.
It was just a 10-minute drive down the canyon to play Whiskey a Go-Go. So
exactly, because I was as I was
where we played.
Well, that's what I was getting to. Is because as I was watching this show, it's fantastic, y'all. It's going to be like a mini series. I don't know, but I mean, I'm hooked, and I only just watched the first episode of it. Okay, so I you guys will love it because you guys will understand. You guys will get the music, and you'll get it's the roots of everything.
In the time period.
That they're very crisp and everything. There's a photographer there who used to be in a folk band, and he's kind of like the narrator on the side. But they're talking to everybody. I mean, but they got voices from like Mama Cass and people on there that aren't with us anymore. But it's really crisp and clean. Takes that they're adding into the show. Joni Mitchell, Eric Clapton, everybody.
Yeah. So
everybody.
I was watching. So I was watching an Eagles documentary, right? And part of that comes up because back the Eagles, their downstairs neighbor was Jackson Brown,
right.
And Linda Ronstadt you know, they all hung out. You know, everybody was right there in Laurel Canyon. I thought about it and said, "Oh shoot, man, that I used to live out in that area."
It must have
Hollywood.
been. It must have been so huge in the '60s and '70s to live on that street, on that road. That seemed to go forever because they talked about it. You know, about all the little side streets and everything like that. But it was like.
Have you taken that drive before, JC?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. We used to go up there for the highlights, and you know, I went to some parties.
Such an amazing. It's such an amazing, dangerous drive.
Oh yeah.
Hey, segue. Dangerous. I flipped my van over on that street.
Oh my goodness.
On
Laurel Canyon or one of the side streets off of Laurel Canyon?
It was on Laurel Canyon.
Wow.
It was a rainy day, and I turned the van to go around the corner, and it didn't turn. It just kept going straight in there. I hit the hill, and it went like that. I'm okay.
Well,
Everything's
you
fine.
look really good.
You look good for a dead man. Yeah.
But it was like I learned something from watching the show that apparently Mickey Dolenz, from the Monkees, his house was the place to be. Apparently, he used to live in a house, and he was like neighbors with Frank Zappa.
He had the
Frank
most
Zappa
cocaine.
had like a commune type of house, and all of these people would come over between Mickey Dolenz's house and Frank Zappa's, cabin. They would hang out at these places, and it sounds just, I love this show. But it got me thinking because they were doing flashbacks to places on the Strip that are
literally
still there, and most of them aren't. And the Whiskey came up, the Rainbow Room came up.
Oh, Rainbow Room.
Had
some good times at the Rainbow Room.
Cool places.
Where Casey went and tried to take a seat from Lemmy.
Oh,
I gave it to him when he showed up. Lemmy's name is literally right there, and his picture was on the wall right next to that.
Gotta give him back his seat.
Bartender even told me, look, Lemmy will probably be here in about 5 minutes. That's when he normally shows up, so you better move or else this entire bar is going to kick your ass. And I'm like, I'll let Lemmy kick my ass if I don't move.
That's awesome.
Then he showed up.
Ouch!
He showed up, and I introduced myself and shook his hand, and I moved a seat over. You're damn right I took Lemmy's seat.
Damn right you did. But it reminded me of the night that you guys played, at the Whiskey, and then we went to the Rainbow Room for dinner afterwards and things like that. That was good times.
I was just looking at those pictures the other day.
You guys were on it. You guys were on fire. And you had the guy who was playing the bagpipes with you.
Yeah, Daryl.
Daryl Calvillo. He was there. Yep.
Yeah,
he
was
there.
a good night.
I ran into him like every other Scottish festival in California, or when I was living in California. So it's just,
really?
Yeah, it's always just oh, I hear bagpipes. Oh, they're doing a bagpipe competition. I go over there, and either it's never him playing, but I'll pass him while him and his troupe are warming up for their competition.
It was like I'm here at Lake Las Vegas a lot, and we have a pub. It used to be an Odd Dubliner, but now it's changed management. Now they just call it the pub. So I went from an Irish pub to a British pub, but it's right here in the village. And on St. Patrick's Day, they had for the past 2 years, they've had two bagpipers come through the village, start there at the pub, and then make their way around the village here at Lake Las Vegas, and then end back at the pub just to kind of be off the clock.
Which
and just
you can hear all the way.
They go all the way around the village, and then they come back, and then they just hang with, they put the pipes to the side, and they just hang with us for the rest of the night.
Which is good, because inside a bar, bagpipes are like me next to your ear.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
It was pretty impressive. This one of the two guys, he's been doing this a while, I can tell. But he got down on one knee. He's holding the note, and he's drinking a full, not a pint. It's like a stein of beer. He's drinking while he's holding that note, and he got through 3/4 of that glass.
Those are my ancestors.
Holy crap, dude, that was impressive. Didn't know that was possible, but yeah, those guys are really cool. So bagpipers, and then they went out to the lakefront, and when the sun, sunset, and played to the west. It was nice. It was very cool. So come out here to Lake Las Vegas, and I'll show you stuff. I think you guys on St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, how many rooms you got in that place? Because we're all coming.
1.5 right now, but
and I'm too cheap to pay for a hotel for even myself. So
well, see, the sweet thing about living out here is coming from California out here, and now that you guys, majority of you have moved out too. The cost of living in California and come into a place like this, you can get more house for less money. So I'm not surprised by anything when I was starting to look at prices and rentals and everything like that. I was already conditioned for paying. I left Long Beach to come here, and we were paying ridiculous. I was out there by the Pike and Shoreline Village, so I was paying way too much.
Whew, I hear you. That's classic avoidance. So basically, you're saying there's a room for everybody but me.
There's, I got a patio. I got a nice patio, and right now it's like 100. It's like 102 degrees at 10 o'clock at night. So,
oh my,
perfect.
The only thing I do not have, which I'm really jealous over Victor, is that I don't have a dog. And I live vicariously through your photos and your videos, Casey, with yours and things like that. So I need a dog. But this is a great place to
I got multiple emotional service animals. So
yeah, that's the way to go.
I ain't complaining. They're my little angels. They're currently locked out of this room and not happy about it, but they'll suffer. Because every time I brought them in for a podcast, within 20 minutes they're like, "Let me out of here."
Yeah, I'm feeling that myself. I know what that feels like to be I wrote that the other day. It's like, and I know how pets feel when the door opens and you're let out of the house now. I know what that feels like to be a human in these times right now.
Right. Well, I love the memes. Like I saw the other one where there's a meme with the dogs that are just like, "Ooh, they're always home now. It's great." I just saw one the other day with cats like, "Ugh, they're always home now. It's horrible."
Yeah, that's right. Get him out.
I posted one the other day. It was a comic, and it was like the cat was playing on stage, and he was playing yesterday. He was playing. They changed it. It was like yesterday. All the humans like to stay away, but now I can't get rid of them. And it was like I want to go back to yesterday. It's just cats. Cats hate us.
You know what? No, and for all the cat haters out there, shut up. Like, look. Here's how great my cat is. My cat thinks it's a dog. My cat thinks it's part of the pack. There's 4 dogs that live in this house, and not a single one will mess with her. And she drinks out of the dog bowl, and she tries to eat out of all of their food and go out when they go outside to potty. But yeah. But on top of that, like here's how great she is. The other day she comes tearing in my room under the bed, pops up under the other side, and jumps up on my chest and like a prairie dog, just sitting there staring at the door, and I'm like waiting for the dogs to come tearing in like they do, chasing her. I'm like, "Oh, the dog's chasing you?" She just looks at me, meows, and looks at the door, and I'm like, "Where are the dogs?" "Oh, she's letting me know I forgot to bring them back inside from potty 45 minutes ago. So they've been out in the New Mexico heat, just out there dehydrating, so by the time I get out there to the back screen door, they're just like, oh, like who knows how long they were back there whining. And my sweet kitty came to let me know, like, the dogs are kind of pissed right now.
Wow. All right.
That's a good cat, Matt. That's a good cat.
Well, I got a question for you, Kyle, because you're in Colorado, right?
Yep.
Okay. I was watching Space Force, which is on Netflix now.
Which is so fucking good.
Oh, I binge watched the whole season. I had to. I got hooked. And
not me. I'm spacing out the second half because I need the levity and the laughter and the joy. So yeah.
I needed to know some stuff. So, somebody's in jail and I need to know why. Anyway, but Kyle, the area that you live in, or at least the area that they're filming or it takes place, is out there. It looks like here. It looks like the desert, right? And I always thought about Colorado being like, trees and like kind of like Utah. It's like trees and, lakes and waterfalls and stuff. Do you live in an area that's more mountainous or more desert in Colorado?
Oh, I work in Boulder, and Denver's so we're right between Denver and Boulder. So we're right at the base of the mountains, of the Rocky Mountains.
Yeah, this area in Colorado where the Space Force base is, it looks very very Arizona, New Mexico, Vegas-ish. And I'm like, I did not know that Colorado was so, desert.
Yeah, the western side that's next to Utah is pretty flat and deserty, and then south next to New Mexico is all.
But there's my question. Do we know for a fact they're actually filming in Colorado?
We don't.
Yeah, because
it's just that's supposedly.
I know, but there's a ton. Look, like a third of the crap you're seeing on Netflix right now is filmed in Albuquerque here, in New Mexico.
That makes sense.
So, and because it's so close to the border of what you're talking about, that type of scenery of Colorado,
right?
Like literally, they can just drive up to Santa Fe and film right up there. And
Like
so
filming in
there's,
Atlanta, only the weather is better.
yeah. So there's a good chance that's filmed. A lot of that is filmed here. What
Gotcha.
you're talking about.
Well, I love the show. Recommend it for the guys that haven't seen it yet. It's awesome.
Space Force.
It's a shot in the arm in a funny way that you need. It's smart. It's well written. It's smart.
And Steve Carell is so good in it.
So good.
And so is John Lovitz. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, John Malkovich's character is.
I mean,
perfect with
Malkovich.
him.
Did I say Lovitz?
You did. Yeah.
Two completely
okay.
different
It's
actors.
all right.
Yeah,
It's all right.
John Lovitz was on Holy Moly the other night. That's literally
He
popped in my
was.
head, yeah.
I saw that the other night. He was, and he
He's
actually
like, "What happened to my career?" Yeah, you're on Holy
putted
Moly.
across the lake and made it. Yeah.
And he's actually a pretty good golfer. He did it double blindfolded. Like,
Both
I was
of
like,
them.
Holy crap. And if you're not watching Holy Moly, I don't care what you think of Rob Riggle. He's amazing in it. He's it's worth watching just for his commentary alone.
It's very true.
Yeah.
I love that show.
Oh, so funny.
It's like Wipeout with
Miniature golf. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's exactly what it is.
Huh.
So
I'd never heard of these shows.
yeah, that one's on was it ABC, right? I think.
So.
Holy moly! I watch everything pre-recorded, so I don't know honestly what channels it's on.
It's actually
I
produced.
just-
It's produced by Stephen Curry from Golden State Warriors.
Okay.
I just got a Roku box, so I'm like adding all these different channels.
Yeah.
You know, and my criteria is, do they give me 7 days free or 14? And so I just, that's it. And then remember to cancel.
You know what?
I have.
Between Hulu, Netflix, and Disney apps right now currently, and then like CW and CBS apps between them, we got rid of cable completely in our house.
Mhm.
So here's the deal. I've heard, I don't know what you pay, but I've heard YouTube TV is like the killer deal
Not worth it.
for $50. No?
I have a bunch of friends who just canceled their subscriptions recently.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. See, this is good. I was just fishing to see if I should do this.
I mean, try it out. You may like it. I don't know.
Yeah.
YouTube.
And I heard it's regional.
YouTube barely pays me. I'm not spending that money on their crap TV.
Yeah, I got you. Well, so there it is.
And they stopped paying me for the last 3 months because rules and regulations have changed so much in Europe and Australia that now it was kind of like we're going through all your videos to make sure they're up to standards. So we're not paying you for any of your hits currently. Like ridiculous, because that's my only income currently. So.
I'm like Casey. Ever since I left Long Beach, I haven't paid for cable since, and I'm happy with Hulu. Yeah, was it Hulu, Netflix, Disney Plus now, which is cheap. Between all of those, I'm good.
Well,
if there's some things on online that you can watch for free, and that's fine. But if I can't watch it, then I don't need. That's okay.
And Amazon Prime has some great content too, quite frankly.
Yeah, see, I got that. Amazon Prime, I live off of. Yeah, there's great shows on there.
Is another one.
And I get to watch Schitt's Creek.
Oh, yeah.
Such a great show. Yeah.
I love Schitt's Creek.
I binged that in like a week and a half easily, all the seasons, every season.
It's so easy. They're just short and sweet. Wonderful.
You guys watch the FX series of What We Do in the Shadows?
Oh yeah, it's amazing. So good.
It just got renewed for a 3rd season.
Oh, of course it did.
Awesome.
So happy.
Like how many actors and actresses are just dying to be on that show right now?
Oh my gosh, it's just so funny.
Yeah,
It's
anything with
ridiculous.
Matt Berry is just amazing. He plays Laszlo, the guy who's married to Nadia.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just always hilarious.
It just cracks me up. Any show that makes me want to rewind for back at about 10 seconds just to make sure I saw that right is a good show to me.
Or
Did I just see what I saw?
Or heard it, because sometimes I'm laughing over the next joke, so I'm like, crap,
Right.
what did I just say?
Exactly. It's I like these shows. We need those positive, happy shots in the arm right now. So those are
that's why I went. That's why I went to Schitt's Creek. I thought, oh my God, I can't believe I'm laughing this much, and
that's what Space
incredible.
Force has been for me. I've been laughing
wanna
so
watch
hard at
that now.
Space Force. Like
I
I haven't laughed that hard at a show in a long time, and then recently Future Man, just because it's nerd fantastic. I guess there's only like 3 seasons, and I'm about to start season 2. But like Future Man is just, they're stealing every nerd trope. They're literally stealing lines, music, and scenes from just everything you know from TV and movies as nerd stuff in just all the right ways. It's so well done.
It's called Future Man.
Mhm.
Future Man, yeah.
Which
Taking notes.
It's on Hulu right now. It's on Hulu. I'm watching it on Hulu. Yeah.
How many episodes? Is this the first season?
No, there's like 3 seasons, and it's already been filmed and done. Like I'm late to the party. Yeah.
I need to check that out.
Yeah. It's one of those things where like I wasn't paying attention to Hulu, and it came on next, and I was like, all right, I've seen the advertisements. What is this? And 10 minutes into the first episode, I was hooked.
Do you watch a show called The Boys?
Yes.
Do you like that?
I love it.
Is that the one with the superheroes?
There's not much I haven't watched at this point, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's
That's
about
like
the superheroes and the people
but
that are
it's
trying
super
to shut
dark.
them
Super rated R, super dark.
Sexy, dirty, crazy,
vulgar,
fun.
bloody, like, and really messed up storylines. But like, but it's
I
like,
love it.
but I love
It's like
dark
The
humor
Watchmen
too.
to me. It's almost like the Watchmen type of show.
Did you watch the Watchmen show on HBO?
I watched 2 episodes of it. It didn't grab me. I'm sorry. I tried.
I could reach through this Zoom right now and strangle you.
The main girl. Maybe I need to go back and visit.
You need to go back with everything going on currently. Now we're going there with everything currently going on in society and Black Lives Matter and Trump trying to declare martial law today.
Right.
You need to go back and watch that show, because what it does, talking about social injustices and society-wise, is better than almost any show I've seen out there, up to the level of Roots, like that good. But not only that, once you get through to the end, like it just wraps up so good, and it's one of the best stories I've seen out there that deals with time. And you know how funky it can be to write about time and use time whatsoever in your story writing. This is some of the best I've ever seen in television.
Okay.
So between that alone, you just go through and watch the whole thing. You'll see it with a whole new, fresh eyes, especially once you get past the second episode. Like things really just start rolling on episode 4, and it's worth it. Stick it out, J.C. Trust me.
Check it out.
For that, yeah, because I other things happen, and I started watching other shows, and it kind of just fell to the wayside. So maybe I need to go visit it.
And I'm lucky because that's another show. Like there was already 4 episodes up by the time I was getting to it, so I got to binge those first 4 episodes, and it was just like, wow. And then just waiting each week, I was just on pins and needles.
Very cool.
Wow. I'm just going to go back and watch Idiocracy over and over again.
Yeah, we're so living it. We're so living
I know.
Oh my goodness.
I wish Mario was here, but the question I was going to ask y'all, I can ask him later, or we can get him. But what was your favorite from when we were doing the Down the Road show together? What would you say was one of your favorite moments that stands out to you? Whether we were doing an offsite at a show, or where we were doing the show in Victor's front room. What's a highlight to you that still holds true? And
I don't remember who we were interviewing, but I was running the camera and doing the countdown, and I was just saying the most random stuff instead of a normal numerical countdown.
That was after Wizard World, because we had spent all day Sunday at Wizard World, and all of us were just crazy tired. I remember that.
Yeah, and whoever we were interviewing was just
weekend.
lost it and couldn't and I started rolling when I said I was going to, and they just couldn't come back from it.
It was Wes and Daniel Vest, and
that's right.
And I forget the writer that was there. And Wes kept getting up real close to Daniel Vest and making him super nervous. So that was a fun show.
Yeah.
Anytime you make Daniel Vest nervous is a good show.
Well, and quite frankly, any highlight for me would have been able to continue it past 8 shows, but it was just with our locations and being able to even get together on a weekly basis, it was impossible.
That's true.
So
Thanks again,
all
Victor.
of it was
You know,
all of it was a
thank you,
highlight
Victor,
for me.
for letting us use your front room. That was really cool. Actually,
Yeah.
that's what I
was
really
home.
enjoyed. I love doing the offsites. I still do. But I mean,
And if you're
for us to
listening
be
or
in the
watching,
room-
Kelly, shout out to Kelly for letting us do that in her house. Yeah.
Yeah, she
it
was
Yeah.
awesome.
It was a good time.
Yep.
It
But
was
she had a
time.
good time too. Absolutely. Remember, we used to have the trivia things, and she'd be like, shooting out the answers from out there.
It's like the
Two
voice
rooms
in the
over.
other room. It was like a phone a friend.
You'd hear the sliding glass door, and she'd pop her head in and answer real
Right?
quick.
Yep.
And then come back outside.
I was actually
She
thinking
did.
about that this week or over the weekend. It's like, maybe I should find some kind of top 10 list and bring it out while we were doing this show together, but I didn't go that far. So if this goes well, Casey, and you want us to come back and do this again together, maybe I'll do that.
Well, we'll throw it out there to my 2 listeners.
Yes.
You guys, do you want the
Hey,
boys
guys.
back on again for episode 50 for a reunion?
Hey, number 25 and 26.
It'll be like, who were those guys?
Yeah.
If this is the
That's how we
point where
do.
nobody listens to episode 26 after this episode, then I'm definitely not having you back on.
Oh well.
Well, there it is.
You can just blame it on me.
Promote the hell out of each other.
Hey, look, nobody's on here to listen to me. I found that out. Like even my past guests have told me that.
Aw.
They fast forward through me to hear themselves. I get it.
Oh my gosh. We need to do more sketches, and we need the Cuban clown back.
Yep.
So is the video this video is going up as well as the audio, right? On separate formats? Okay.
Separate formats, pretty much same day, and the next few days. It'll be up this week.
Well, Mario's going to have to contact his cousin, the Cuban clown, and makeup. Come in the room and sit in the chair and be on the air with us.
He's going to have to do 2 separate
because it's
Zoom
not Mario.
cameras.
It's not Mario. It's the Cuban clown. I forgot his name. It doesn't matter. But we need him in makeup though. I'll pitch that to Mario when I talk to him soon.
There we go.
You're gonna have to call your cousin and balloon animals. We're gonna need those and helium.
Actually, I got
I'm making the list
I got a
right
balloon.
now.
I got a balloon guy. He's like
You got a guy.
He's
Of
4
course you got a
episodes
guy.
ago. He's like 4 episodes. I got a balloon
See?
twister. Yeah,
Time
we
to
can have
bring
him
him
on.
back.
We can have him on. I almost had Batt on the show, JC.
Well, okay. Well, we need him too.
Yeah, because that's how Batt and I met, was him fucking with you and I at Wizard World when we were
We
doing
did that.
the cosplay contest.
That
when
was
we
one of
were
my
hosting
favorite.
That.
That was one of my favorite moments. Was when we hosted that
was a
that
good
train
time.
wreck of a
was a train wreck.
costume show.
We had never done that.
Hey, you and
We
I
had
showed
never
up. We
done
did
that.
our job.
Yeah.
We did our job.
Yeah.
We came and we looked pretty and we did our thing.
I felt bad for Jason Charles Miller and all the other, I forget who the other celebrity
Don't even
were
know.
up there. They were the judges, but like,
I have to
it
go back
was,
and watch the tape.
yeah, it's on the YouTube channel.
On
It
the
was,
YouTube
it was a mess, but fun. And then Batt started heckling us from like the 5th row, and
He
my
did.
stupid ass is like, oh, you can do. I'm like thinking to myself, oh, you think you're so smart and funny, you could do better.
Come up here.
Come
and
on
do it
up here,
yourself.
bro. And then he
Right.
just proceeds to back the bus over JC and I, and then forward, and then back it up again until like I just couldn't take it anymore. I'm like, this guy's funnier than me. Like, go back to your seat, dick.
And over the mics. I know. It was magic. It was actually
And
very cool.
we've been friends ever since. And he made this Down the Road Show shirt and some upcoming
you,
podcast shirts. So if you're looking for shirts, logos, business cards, or anything graphic artists, Batt is your man at darkknightstudios.com. Go check him out.
I'm gonna connect with you or connect with Batt to get one of those shirts. So I'll send the money. I just want one because that's a very cool shirt. And then I'm gonna have to.
You're talking
we're
about
all
this one.
have to get together at some point when the world opens up, and I need y'all to sign it for me. Because that's what I do. I want people to sign the shirt. I'll wear it proudly and represent.
Well,
it and
that's
everything. But we should do a show again.
if I
We should
sign
have
it,
Batt as
that's
a
driving
guest.
down the value.
Well, the rest of it. Victor's gonna sign it, so that'll bring it back up.
Yeah.
There it is.
You know what? I'm signing it as the Cuban clown.
And, I was gonna say you're pulling rank on the Cuban clown. But I mean, that's people who are listening and watching this show. This is what we call a hook, because next time, if you tune in, if you like this episode, if you like what we're doing right now, wait till we come back and do this again, and we have the Cuban clown and we have Batt with us. That'll be.
Yeah, this is just M&Ms. The next one will be Skittles, baby.
Wow, Skittles. Nice. I like the way you think.
I don't even like
work.
Skittles. Why did I use that analogy?
I'll take your Skittles and like them for you.
It sounded tougher than Almond Joy. I don't know.
Almond Joy.
We're definitely nuts.
Some of us are nuts.
There are no mounds around here, that is for sure. Oh my goodness. Well, brothers, and I mean that in life. I love you guys all so much. This has been a blast. And Kyle, you're wondering about what we're going to talk about. See, nothing. We talked about pretty much nothing.
Yeah.
We talked about a lot of nothing.
Yeah.
It's like a Seinfeld show.
Yeah.
I'm obviously Costanza.
I think we handled ourselves pretty well after 8 years or 9 years or whatever years it is. It's been
Oh, you could see that?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
like riding a horse
I'm not wearing anything under this.
with no pants.
Sorry.
That's how we do.
Well, on behalf of the original podcast crew, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And as always, I can't wait to see you somewhere down the road.
See you guys. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah. It's good talking to you guys.
Love, 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 love.